everyone. So the wardrobe build, the next wardrobe build is sort of underway. It's not a huge job, it's a double and a single with top boxes above. So not massive, but you know, tidy enough. The interesting part of it, interesting in inverted commas again, as ever, is the single cabinet. Because it's fitted into an awkward sort of angle. So that's a shelf unit. So lots of shelves to be cut to an odd shape. The cabinet itself is an odd shape, so it'll be an interesting construction. And of course the top box above is also an odd shape. So yeah, interesting on 3 levels. The double wardrobe carcass is dedicated to hanging space. So it's just a big MDF box basically. It does have a top box above it, which have a single shelf and adjustable rows of holes. And I usually build wardrobes with a low shelf, which is only half depth for shoes and that sort of things. So that'll be in there as well. But I'm going to concentrate on the build of the single carcass and top box because they're the most interesting in terms of construction because of all the angles involved. And I've popped in there this morning just to double check my measurements and to template. And very slowly I will zoom out. And I'm glad I did because the template, the measurements were very slightly off on one corner angle, so I've had to add in a little bit there. It's only a few millimetres out, but it just shifts the angle slightly around. So yeah, I mean all the shelves I think are all lipped and ready to go. We'll start by cutting the domino mortises. Yeah, a standard cabinet construction. If you've seen my other videos, you know how they work. Lots of glue and screws, dominoes for alignment. And as before, I'll be... what am I doing? Oh yeah, like the previous cabinet that I put in recently. The big double, the top boxes are okay, but the double cabinets I'll build on site, so because there's just too, you know, they're too big to build here and get out and get upstairs and round corners and things. So yeah, we'll concentrate on that for now. So we'll start by chopping out the domino mortises and then doing everything else. Yeah, happy times. With around 40 mortises to cut for the 4 carcasses, double and single with top boxes, remembering the angled size of the single. The domino makes short but repetitive work of this otherwise dull but important task. So we're going to cut some shelf pinholes for this. In the double wardrobe, because it's mostly dedicated to hanging space, we've just got a low half-depth shelf for shoes and boots and whatever, just, you know, in the bottom of the wardrobe. And I make that adjustable just a little bit because you never know, you know, big shoes. And all I do, just make sure that we know which way is which. This is the right-hand side and that's the front edge. So we want the shelf pins to be at the back and they'll be the opposite on the left-hand side, obviously. And we can just mark these off with a sliding square where we want them to be. Again, I can just reference in my usual way off the bottom edge. We don't even need a big rail for this because the shelf pins only come to about here. I can use my little jigs that you might have seen before just to figure out where that one goes. I'll just eyeball it for straight against there. And I can do my usual little marks on the rail to show where we start and finish. Again, because it's just shoes, we don't need to go there's no point in going too low and there's no point in going too high either. So we'll probably put the range of adjustment up to around there. You know, when I've done this sort of thing before, I think you might have seen them in the cabinet build I did recently, where I'm extending the side of the cabinet to get the rail to work, to bear against the bottom edge. This little scrap piece isn't quite, not quite the same height as this. It's a fraction of a millimetre out. So I've just screwed this directly to the bench, and I'm screwing this little piece down as well, because we've got a a 2400 rail. It needs to extend up here, so I don't want the clamps to get in the way. So if I use screws properly, they'll be well out of the way and this won't move. You know, I was really quite reluctant to spend the money on this shelf pin rail system, but especially for long carcasses like these, it really makes a huge difference to how quickly I can get this work done. When I was just using a small jig with a cordless drill, a complete wardrobe carcass like this would have taken a good hour to complete, whereas now I can rattle through it in just a few minutes. And this angled single wardrobe carcass with split, narrow sides that would have filled me with dread before is now completed just as easily as a larger but more straightforward double.